Hi everyone, it's Agnieszka from 5 Minute Language. Welcome to my channel. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. So today's video is about how to sound more fluent in a foreign language, and that's something that many of us set ourselves as a goal when we're learning foreign languages. We want to sound more fluent, and you can actually sound more fluent even if you're not advanced. You can take certain steps to improve your fluency, improve the kind of fluency with which you're expressing yourself in the foreign language. So I'm going to give you some tips. I've made a video about this previously a couple of years ago, but it's a very popular topic, so I thought I would update it and add some additional tips just to kind of make sure that you guys can benefit from that as much as possible. So like I said, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and let's get started with the language tips. So my first tip is about preparing phrases, pre-prepared phrases. And basically what I mean by that is you need to prepare certain phrases that you will be able to use when different specific things come up during your conversations in the language you're learning. So these are phrases that you will be using a lot. So for example, if somebody asks you what you did last weekend, or what your job is, or if they ask you about your family or your future plans, you can prepare certain phrases that you will be able to use straight away. And if you practice them, that will give you that extra fluency that you're looking for. So you can practice them in advance, and then when the conversation topic comes up, you can use those phrases. The other benefit of using pre-prepared phrases is that once you say them, you get more motivated to say something else. So it's kind of like a starter point. It gives you the confidence because you know that you've said something, you can feel proud of yourself, and then it will be easier to produce other sentences that you haven't pre-prepared, if you know what I mean. So that's my tip number one. Tip number two is about reactions. So it's not just about answering questions or telling people about your plans or what you did at the weekend. It's more about reacting to what they're telling you. So for example, if somebody tells you that they got a new car, or that they have started a new course, or they got a new job, how do you react to that? So think about what you would say in your native language to react to news like that, or to react to what somebody's saying. It can be something exciting, it can be something sad, it can be something personal. Think of these different situations in which you will find yourself where you will need to react somehow. So rather than just saying, oh, that's interesting, or really, think of different kind of original ways in which you can react to those things. And again, like with the pre-prepared phrases, you will become more confident once you have kind of said something to react to the thing initially, and then you will find it easier to then produce more sentences afterwards, and that will make you sound more fluent. Okay, my next tip is mirroring, and mirroring is something that you can do to improve your fluency, and it's all about basically mirroring, so repeating word for word something that somebody has said. And it's practice that you can do at home, not something you can do during a conversation necessarily, but whenever you're practicing listening, you can use that to practice speaking and kind of improve your fluency. So mirroring is basically just repeating something after a native speaker, and not just repeating the content, so the words, but also repeating the stress, the intonation. These are very important things when it comes to fluency, or the perception of your fluency. If you can get the intonation right, if you can get the stress right, or the accent, or how individual kind of word particles are pronounced, you will come across as more fluent. So try mirroring. Basically play a little recording, play a video on YouTube, and pause it every 5 or 10 seconds and just mirror what you've just heard exactly the way the speaker said it. Okay, the next tip for sounding more fluent is about collocations, and collocations are basically word combinations that come together to create naturally sounding phrases and sentences. So for example, in English, when you say to have breakfast, that's a collocation. To have breakfast always goes together as one phrase. So you don't necessarily say to eat breakfast. You can say that, but when you speak British English, for example, people usually say to have breakfast. And it sounds natural, it makes you sound more fluent when you learn those word combinations together, because you will come across as more natural and more fluent. The next one is idioms. It's similar to collocations. Idioms are basically expressions that people use. So, for example, to be under the weather, that's an idiom. It means to not feel very well, to feel like you've got a little bit of a cold. And when you know those idioms and when you use them, you come across as more fluent because, again, your language will sound more natural. Okay, my next tip is about fillers. So fillers are basically words that don't really carry any meaning as such. For example, probably the most common filler in the English language is the word like. People use it a lot. Some people find it really annoying, but it's something that native speakers use a lot. And if you want to sound fluent, you might want to familiarize yourself at least with the different fillers that exist in the language you're learning. Okay, and my final tip is about body language. So body language is an important element of speaking any foreign language. Different nations and different cultures have different types of body language, and when you can study it, analyze it, and then acquire it, it will make you more fluent. So it could be things like facial expressions when you speak, the different kind of movements that you make with your hands, but also with the rest of your body. So when you next watch a video, for example, where native speakers are discussing things, watch their body language as well. And that is something that you can pick up and that can make you feel more confident, and therefore you will come across as more fluent when you do it yourself. So I hope you found these tips helpful. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and let me know in the comments what your favorite way is of making yourself sound more fluent. What is your top technique for sounding more fluent in the language you're learning? And I'll see you next time. Bye.